Good afternoon. Chris Warner in the KOAM Skywatch Weather Center joining you here on YouTube right now. So if you're in Lamar, you have undoubtedly heard the sirens sounding once again in the city, and that is because we have had some funnel clouds and even a brief possible tornado touchdown just northwest of Lamar. There is no tornado warning associated with this particular storm. What we're getting right now is just these little spin-ups. This is the same storm, though, that had been causing the tornado warning earlier for Barton County and into Jasper County, where we had the funnel clouds. We are getting some reports of at least funnel clouds and possibly a brief touchdown from a small tornado near or northwest of Lamar. Lamar has been sounding their sirens. I know folks are probably taking shelter in that area right now, but there is not an official tornado warning with this particular storm. We've been looking at velocity data on this particular storm. There is very weak rotation associated with this. As you can see on the radar, it is not impressive at all in terms of the shape and form of this storm. But we are talking that we've had some reports of funnel clouds and maybe a brief touchdown out in this area, northwest of Lamar, getting close to the I-49 corridor. So we'll take a look at velocity data, and that's the wind data, to see if there's anything out there, and there's nothing that is really showing up on velocity at this point that looks particularly impressive. Let me clear that off here. Computer's going a little slow on this, but we are continuing to monitor. There's some weak rotation near Lamar. The sirens had been sounding in Lamar. There's been some reports of a funnel and possibly a brief tornado touchdown. Again, there is not a tornado warning with this particular storm, but it is something that we are continuing to monitor. So that's why we're on YouTube right now. Getting information that if you have students in Lamar schools, they were actually in the process of boarding the buses. They have unboarded the buses, put the kids back in the shelter, so bus routes will be delayed. At this point in Lamar, we've had some weak rotation. Again, not any tornado warnings with this particular storm, but this is the same cell that have been causing some issues out there and have produced some funnel clouds and at least a confirmed tornado near Nashville and possibly a tornado on the ground in between CJ and Joplin. Again, this was about 2 hours ago now, and this same storm not really doing much. And on the radar data itself, when you look at the rain and just the base rain here, as you can see, it is not impressive. We're not seeing that classic little hook shape to it, where it's clear where the area of rotation is. It's a messy storm, and there's a good chance that these are just going to be weak spin-ups. But again, we've had some reports of a funnel cloud northwest of Lamar, near the Lamar area, and possibly a brief touchdown out there with this storm. There's not a tornado warning with this storm at this point, but we are here on YouTube. We've seen some very weak rotation on radar. In fact, looking at some newer velocity scans now, any of that rotation that was there is definitely not showing up at this point. It is not showing up any longer, and what was there was very brief and very weak. The rotation that was visible there was weak. So it's not showing up on velocity. These could be what are known as land spouts. And National Weather Service actually just giving some information. So again, not a tornado warning with this storm, but I want to give you this information from National Weather Service. They're looking at these as land spouts, land spout tornadoes. Any of these are going to be very brief. They're going to dissipate very quickly. That's why we're not seeing very clear rotation on these. That's why what has been reported has been relatively weak funnels out there. So these are land spouts, but they can be scary. They're definitely scary to see. but they're not as threatening as a tornado. They can do minor damage if they make it to the ground, but the National Weather Service is saying that there could still be some land spouts with this activity as it continues to lift north of Lamar and continues to lift north through Barton County. But right now they're just anticipating land spout-like funnels and weak tornadoes. They're not anticipating anything significant. We're not looking at any type of tornado warning needing to be issued. Rotation data on velocity is gone at this point. And to be fully honest with you, not seeing any rotation with this storm now, but there is that possibility of some land spouts with this activity as it continues to lift to the north. But these are expected to dissipate quickly with little to no damage. We'll continue to monitor these storms. Of course, the National Weather Service will continue to monitor these storms. If at any point they should intensify and potentially produce an actual full-on funnel or tornado, we will break in with the tornado warning, the latest information. But again, if you're in Lamar, there have been some land spouts that did trigger the sirens in Lamar. Bus routes are being delayed. As a precaution, the students were put back into their shelters with one of these land spouts, but these land spouts are expected to be very short-lived, dissipate very quickly, and do little to no damage. But again, they can be frightening to see. They're a little bit scary to see. But no active tornado warnings, no tornadoes on the ground with this activity. And of course, we will continue to monitor it, and we'll come back in here on YouTube as needed, and we'll go back on air as needed. And for now, we're going to let you all rest, relax, as these showers continue to roll through the 4 states.